Hey everybody, my name is Old School Nerd, and right now we're getting ready to start up the holiday season, and I have a kitchen food hack, a simple side that has 4 ingredients that'll have all of your family and friends going, how did you make it? Can I have the recipe? Don't share it, because if they find out how easy this was to make, they'll stop respecting you. All right. Let's get started. Okay, 4 ingredients. Okay, this is how this works, okay? If you're like me, you love food, you love to entertain, you love to spend time with family and friends. However, sometimes you don't have time. Sometimes you ruin a side and you need to come up with something quick or last minute, or you've already done so many things and someone says, do you have a fresh vegetable? And you're like, okay, we've all been there. Now, if you're not like me and you don't love to cook and you still need to find something you can bring and you don't want to buy it because then every time you forget to take the tag off and everyone knows you bought it, watch this. 4 easy ingredients, and here they are. Ready? Okay. Number 1, a head of cabbage. Now, if you get your cabbage like this from a grocery store, make sure you take it out of the bag. I know a lot of you are thinking, why'd you say that? Because a lot of you have to be told that now, don't you? Now, your head of cabbage, you're going to slice it super thin. Cut the head in half, take the core off, slice it super thin as you can. Almost like an angel hair if you can. Now, for those of you who are inept in the kitchen or cannot be trusted with sharp objects, just go buy a bag of slaw. Pre-cut. Nobody will judge you for this because who actually wants to cut cabbage fresh with a knife? Anyway. Here's the next ingredient. 1/2 cup olive oil. 1/2 cup of rice wine vinegar. Now this is important, very important. You need to use rice wine vinegar. I don't care who makes it. It could be Kikkoman, it could be Nakano like this one. There's a bunch of different providers of it, but go with rice wine vinegar. I like to use the seasoned one. There's a roasted garlic one. There's actually an all-natural, no preservative one. It doesn't matter, but the key to it is the rice wine vinegar. You can also use apple cider vinegar, but that's a very unique taste that may not work with cabbage. Be careful. The reason why we use this vinegar, besides balsamic and white and all these other vinegars, is because it has a very spicy bite to it, which is what you're going to use to offset the cabbage flavor. That's key. Last ingredient. 1/4 cup of a mixed herb mix. Now, some people use Mrs. Dash. I mean, literally, Mrs. Dash will work. But if you have something that's from your local area, if you want to get all fancy with it and get you like some kind of special herb grinder, or if you have fresh herbs in the garden, that works just fine. It doesn't matter what you like. Use the one that's good for you locally. Now, since everyone in the world can see this video, whatever is the local herb mix that you can find for yourself that matches your country or your culture, go with that one, because that's going to more likely appeal to the palates of the people you're serving. Now, this is what you're going to do. You're going to take those ingredients. You're going to take your cabbage, put your cabbage in a bowl. If it's a slaw mix, take it out of the bag. Remember the rule. Take it out of the bag, people. It's important. Now, here's the next thing you're going to do. Take your olive oil and you're going to take your rice wine vinegar, put them in a container. This container can be glass, plastic, whatever, but it needs to have a securable lid, a sealable lid, like Tupperware or something. Because what we're going to do is, once we put both of those ingredients together, we're then going to add our herb mix to it. Then you shake it up. Now, if you're like me, you'll put them in a blender, blend them properly, get them a nice aeration, but that vinegar and oil will always separate. So the reason why I like to put it in a Tupperware is because at any time I can take it, pick it up and go real quick and mix it up real quick if I need to. You're going to put those ingredients into a container, shake them up real good or blend them, then put them to the side and let them sit. Put your cabbage in the fridge so it doesn't start to smell, because cabbage needs to be kept cold. Now, here's the key. That's going to take you all of 5 minutes max. It's going to take you less time to make this side dish than I am telling you about it. Of course, that's pretty normal. I usually talk way longer than anything needs to be done. That's kind of a thing I do. Now, when you're ready to go or you're ready to serve, if you're going to go somewhere, take the cabbage in the bowl with you, take your container of I guess it would be like a vinaigrette at this point. You're going to shake that up right before you serve it, pour it over the cabbage, toss the cabbage, and serve. If you're gonna do this, do the same thing. Once this fluid gets onto the cabbage starts to absorb it. It'll become stronger and stronger and stronger as it sits, so you want to serve it fresh. Now here's the kicker, my favorite part about this. Everyone's gonna be asking you for this recipe. Whether or not you share it is up to you. You might want to keep this one in your back pocket. I have people asking me all the time, OldSkuleNerd, can you give me that spring slaw recipe that you have? And I was like, yeah, I'll get it to you. And then I forget. Because if they ever find out it's only 4 ingredients, it takes me 5 minutes, they're gonna be super irritated that they fawned over it for a couple of years. Yeah, I'm talking about my family. Here's another thing, another little trip. If your meal isn't for a few hours, don't wait on mixing your sauce. And here's the reason why. Your dressing, the oil, the vinegar, and the herb mix, when you put the dried herbs in, if they're fresh, this isn't a big deal, but if they're dried herb mix, the longer they sit in the vinegar and the oil, the more they're gonna reconstitute from being dry to being a wet ingredient, and their flavors will infuse that dressing more and more. So the longer it sits, the better it is. But because it's olive oil, I wouldn't put it in the fridge. It can sit out while you're prepping your food. So that's it. It's as easy as that. So that was my old school nerd kitchen hack for this holiday season. Enjoy it. Be responsible. Love one another. Take care of each other. We're all stuck on this mud ball together. And it took me longer to explain it than it's going to take you to make it. And that's just sad. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like. It really helps the channel grow. Also, if you want to subscribe, right there. Big thank you to all my Patreons out there. We appreciate everything you do. If you want more content like this video, check them out above. Remember, love one another, take care of each other. We're all stuck on this mud ball together. We'll see you later.